Now, in an alternate reality, it's the kind of shop I would open, right? Like a barber shop that that sold cigars, and you could smoke cigars and have a drink and then get a haircut and maybe a shoe shine. There's something very regal about all that. I love that stuff. Forgive me, guys. I'm outdoors. Welcome to the Morning Rumble. I'm Tony Katz, presented by Americans for Prosperity. Absolutely love what they do and working with them. If you check my Facebook page, you'll actually see a poll that the guys at Americans for Prosperity did about this economy and where Americans see it. And the vast, vast, vast number of people in America who see this as all on Joe Biden. Every last bit of this is on Joe Biden and on the Biden team. This is not Russia. This isn't COVID. This is about Biden and Biden policies. Bad stuff going into 2022 and made worse by today. Look at that right there. U.S. economy shrinking 1.4%, the worst quarter in 2 years. Now, first, I'm on the streets of La Jolla, California. I'm here for a conference over the weekend and got in a little bit early because I love La Jolla. My problem is I lived in California for 6 years, and my California experience was absolutely, positively exceptional. It was wonderful. It was a dream. It really and truly was. To see what progressives have done to this state, how they've ruined this place. Let me see if I can do this for you right here. So I am at the corner of Prospect and Jenner. So if you're nearby, come say hello. And that's the ocean. Right, it's right. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. The money here just falls off the freaking trees. Well, it got earned. You know my point. This place does not seem to be affected the way San Francisco is and Los Angeles is, dealing with homeless, dealing with crime, dealing with rampant drug use, and everything else. They seem to be flourishing right here. La Jolla is one of my favorite spots in the world. Just gorgeous, just feels right, everything about it. I wouldn't live here on a bet because there's no living here anymore, because bad policies outdo weather. Bad policies outdo beauty. What is beauty if I can't actually enjoy it? If I'm oppressed, do I want the most beautiful prison camp possible? Of course not. So count me out. By the way, I love living in Indiana in a way that is irrational. It never dawned on me how much I would enjoy Indiana. I will admit, I miss mountains. I miss mountains something fierce. Eats at my soul. If I end up living in Sedona one day, don't be surprised, people. Don't be surprised. But at this rate with the economy, I need to do a lot more savings. This was CNBC given the key points here about this. And let me take that off right there. That the GDP declined at 1.4%, below the expectations of a 1% gain. So let's take that in context real quick. If you thought it was going to go up 1% and it went down 1.4, you're down 2.4%. That's where you are. And when you're down 2.4%, that's bad news. That's a serious, serious, major issue. Not one that can be brushed under the rug. However, when you go back to what CNBC is talking, look at the bottom there. This is noise, not a signal. The economy is not falling into recession. We heard this from the chairman of Bank of America with Maria Bartiromo the other day, and he brings up, of course, the legitimate point that a recession is 2 quarters of negative GDP growth, gross domestic product. We can't get to 2 quarters of negative because we're basically done with the second quarter. So the idea that the recession is going to hit in 2022, correct. I don't think the recession will hit in 2022. But I think everybody who's talking about recession 2023 is very much speaking with a lot of accuracy. Everything seems to be playing in that vein, going down that road. Over there at Fox Business, or is this Fox News? Fox News, I think this was. Oil refineries are going to shutter. You don't build an economy if you're not refining the oil to make the gas to then put at the pumps. I know. I'm in La Jolla. Everybody's got a Tesla. Actually, the car of choice here, Porsche, Panamera, and the new ones, right? Really, really, like, I mean, now maybe they didn't make a 2021 Panamera. That's the four-door Porsche. But it's beautiful, by the way. But that's all I'm seeing. And I got to tell you, I like Porsche. I would drive a Porsche. I'm not digging the new style. I don't. Am I the only person who's just like, eh, I don't know. It just there's something about that back end that's just it's not Porsche-like. It's I'm gonna insult somebody. It's very Honda Pilot-like. Did I say something wrong? Not working for me. Nah, older stuff. Whoo, daddy like. These economic indicators mean bad things ahead. We should also take a little bit of what they're saying in context, not the oil stuff. Let's talk about what's going on with GDP. You can argue that it's noise for Wall Street. It's very, very difficult to make the argument that somehow that it's noise for Midwest Mainstreet. Midwest Mainstreet is having a much more difficult time than is being reported, than is being discussed, and it's wrong. The idea that Bank of America is like, well, we don't see recession coming because you need 2 quarters of negative GDP growth. What are we doing about supply chain issues for those mom and pop businesses up and down Midwest Mainstreet that are not resolved? Your stock price on a service-based entity is inconsequential. The truth is, it doesn't matter that Elon Musk buys Twitter for 44, 45, 46 billion dollars. It matters that your neighbors go out of business because they can't get the supplies to run their business. And the effect that has on local economies. We are absolutely out of focus here. When we take a look at what's going on Wall Street only, these numbers do matter because they're indicators, right? And they do set the stage. I remember, I'm old enough to remember that people used to look at the stock market as a gauge of how things were doing. And then we realized the market is totally out of whack. It's not connected to how we're living our lives. And then we took at things like, well, at least the nation's growing. It's growing fast, it's growing slow. We took a look at interest rates. Those things still do matter. A 30-year fixed mortgage was at 5.3. 5.3. At this time last year, it was 3.13. It's up 2% plus, and it's growing with no real end in sight, at least for the rest of this year. These things are real problems. A bench. And they're going to continue to be real problems. We have an economy that isn't working because we have policies that simply cannot work. They can't work. They're untenable. And if you want to know what those policies are, let's go through a most basic conversation. Can you tell me what the policies are that are supposed to help the economy work? Tell me what the Biden administration has done, the messaging that they have put out to get you to believe that everything's okay, that the economy is going to grow, that we have this great opportunity ahead of us, that the future looks bright, that the shining city is on the hill. Can you point it out to me? If you go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/Tony Katz Radio, Sarah, throw it in the comments. Sarah runs the digital. She's great. Hi, Sarah. Say hi to Sarah. You'll see how people blame the Biden administration, not COVID, not Russia invading Ukraine, right? They blame the Biden administration. And part of that blame comes from the idea that you don't have, and this is really important to remember, you don't have a vision. There's nobody in the administration talking about a vision. Nobody in the administration, I'm trying to center, nobody in the administration talking about here's where we're going and here's why we're going and here's why it's important to you and here's how it's going to work and it's going to be fantastic. It's not happening. It doesn't exist. It is a rudderless ship with no build of faith and belief. The thing they liked about Trump is that he actually believed. All right, maybe you thought he was crazy. Maybe you thought he was lying, but he was still out there saying, we're great. This is great. The country's great. Those people are trying to make it not be great. We're going to make it great. Let's go be great, 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 great. That matters. And that is not something you're seeing from the administration. And that, where was it? Who had the comment right there? Was that you, Lee? Lee Williams crushing it. CPI isn't keeping up with PPI, right? Which means that many of the increases in production costs have still not been passed down along to consumers yet. That's very, very true. That's very true. I didn't realize you were talking about CPI. I thought consumer price index versus the producer price index, right? What the producers are actually paying, what the consumers are actually paying, and then how those costs move from one to another, because of course the costs move from one to another, and anybody who thinks otherwise is, well, out of their damn mind. The real number is consumer confidence. Ask yourself, do you have faith in this economy? Do you feel secure in what's coming? And the answer for the vast majority of Americans is no. That's not even a political question. That's a fact of life, pocketbook, kitchen table question. Do you feel good about where you're at and where things are going? Where you've been, where you're at, and where things are going. Maybe that's a better way to put that right there. And they don't. They don't feel it. And every time something comes out like this, 1.4% shrink. Man, that just makes things worse. Let me at least get to some good news. Very happy that Trevor Reed is back in the United States. It was this prisoner swap, a drug dealer, a Russian drug dealer for this U.S. Marine. I don't know all the particulars, and I have a lot of questions about it. I don't know why Reed was jailed in Russia. I don't trust the Russians for anything. Of course not. But it's so weird that at this moment, with the Russian invasion and all the sanctions, we would do this. And so it makes me wonder whether this is about something else. Is there another bit of policy that we're engaged here? Is this something they're already working on? And what the heck? I'm glad he's back, though. Please don't get me wrong. I just wonder what else it may lead to. I wonder what else what else not leads to, what else came from it, what was the germination here, and then where does it go from here? This is that link. Sarah, that's Sarah. Say hi to Sarah. Sarah put it there in the chat, and you'll be able to find that story on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Tony Katz radio. So you'll be able to check that out right there. Let me go to Philip here. For socialism to take hold, the economy has to take a dump. Biden administration is wrecking our country by design. So I'm somebody who fights back very strongly against this narrative. And it's not that we disagree on what happens when you push a more government-centric world on America. You can't have a thriving America. Except I'm in La Jolla, California right now, and let me freaking tell you, these people are thriving. Part of the problem that the political left has is that they believe that the push for a more government-centric society can work. And one of the reasons they believe it can work is because, well, my God, look at all the money. Look at it all. It's everywhere. There's sorry about that. There's so much money. You realize when you're in a place like this, and many of the ritzier places around America, it would take a long time, a long time to burn up the Capitol to make these people feel it. You and I will feel it. These people won't feel it for a long time. Hold on. That's a truck. Just what you want in a live shot. So they can think, for whatever reasons they think it, whether it's skewed economic theory, whether it's guilt, whatever the case may be, that you need the government to take more from the people and give more to this one and give more to that one, because that's how you create the equitable and just society. right? Equity, that conversation. But of course it doesn't work, and we have the history books to prove that it doesn't work. We are fully aware because we read and because we have to live with what it is, these ideas that these elitists put out there. We know it doesn't work. That's the thing that always gets me about the college professor, right? The professor very rarely has to live with their thoughts. They think this is the economic policy or they think this is the social policy, but do they have to live it? If you have a situation where you're on a college campus and you only work 3.5 hours a day and only twice a week, and everybody says, "Oh yes, professor, hello, professor," and you have the parking space and you've got the incredible benefits and everything else, are you really living the life that you and I are living? No, of course not. You don't have to deal with the result of your concepts because you've never had to once, like a business owner, like a capitalist, put them into theory and see if they damn well work. Will society accept it or not? Isn't that true of Representative Ocasio-Cortez? Well, sure. I mean, she did work. I mean, people mock the bartending. I don't. We need bartenders, and it's a way to make a living. But everything that she's discussing right now, does she have to live with the results that of the theories that she's putting out there? Let me remind you that this is a woman who wore a designer dress to go to the Met Gala event. Was she at the Met? It was the Met Gala event where she hung around with billionaires. Does she really think that she's somebody who has to live with the consequences of her theories and philosophies? And the answer is of course not. So when we go back to your comment, Philip, for socialism to take hold, the economy has to take a dump. For socialism to take hold, people have to be taught that somehow government owes them. Think of it just a little bit differently. Yes, when things go south, it gives people that Rahm Emanuel never let a crisis go to waste theory, and then they can go about implementing things that they couldn't implement before. That does happen. I agree with you there. But all you have to do is convince people that they're owed something. Motorcycle. All you have to do is convince people. Make them believe that they're not being treated well. Somehow their government should provide for them. Somehow they're owed. Somehow somebody took from them. But somehow never these people here in La Jolla. Somehow the people in La Jolla, they're the good guys. Where are the awful rich people, dang it? Is just Elon Musk? Is that it right there? So anyway, that was my point. That you're not wrong that people take advantage um people take advantage of a downturn to try and push policy, right? That happens constantly and all the time. It's much more than that. If one was planning to weaken the U.S. from within, says Lee, what would they do what this administration isn't already doing? I'm not arguing this. I'm not arguing that there isn't a desire from some to weaken the U.S. From within. I'm arguing that this is a long time coming from a political ideology that hates American strength. That much is true. They are embarrassed of American strength. And I could go back to just a little bit of recent history. Go back to the term of Barack Obama. Did you ever see Barack Obama deliver a message from the Oval Office? Oh, wait. No, you didn't. Barack Obama delivered his messages from the East Room or the Rose Garden, never the Oval. Why? My view, one man's theory, the Oval is a projection of strength. And he didn't want to be doing that. He didn't want to project American strength. So he did not give addresses from the Oval Office. Now, it's possible he did give one and I don't remember it. But I don't think you remember it either. I don't think you remember it either. Steven, where the hell am I this morning? I'm in La Jolla, California. I'm here for a conference. So yes, not on the radio today. Won't be on the radio tomorrow. I'm back on Monday here for a conference. And I'm going to keep doing the Daily Rumbles because, Daily Rumble, presented by Americans for Prosperity. If you haven't joined, if you haven't taken a look, you should check out americansforprosperity.org, americansforprosperity.org. And also let me know in the comments if this worked for you, right? I didn't have the lavalier mic. I actually have one, and I could use that next time, but just tell me how it sounded, trucks and stuff like that. How did it look? How did it feel? And I'm glad that you guys were here. I'm glad that you liked it. Make sure you subscribe, rumble.com/Tony Katz. Make sure that you subscribe. Do that. And if you're seeing this on Twitter or on YouTube, hey, what's going on? How are you? It's good to see you. Make sure you like in those places as well. Oh, holy crap. Oh. Have you guys seen the Twitter increases? So I've gone up. I think it's 2,000. Sarah, you can double check. Now that Musk is buying Twitter, all of a sudden, conservatives are noting that they're gaining followers. Some by the tens of thousands of followers, kind of proving that yes, the Twitterati was throttling down conservatives to try and ensure that they didn't have the reach that other people had. Oh, it's just looking so bad for the political left. And I don't want to hear about Jack Dorsey saying things like, Elon Musk is the only person to really have Twitter, and we need to make it all open source and everything else. Crazy. He could have done so much to fix this, and he chose not to. Can't somehow find that he's a good, decent cat for allowing this to happen. Sarah just texted me, but I can't see the text. Eat, Drink, Smoke has got more followers? Wait. Eat, Drink, Smoke on Facebook or Eat, Drink, Smoke? That's my cigar and bourbon show, guys. Eat, Drink, Smoke, eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Did it grow on Twitter? Did it grow on Facebook? Oh, now I'm curious. I didn't even wait. Eat, Drink, Smoke jumped up to 2,500 followers on Twitter. We were like at 1,400. Are you kidding me? Cigars and bourbon? Or was it because of my name? Now, wait. Okay. Why was I throttled? Was it throttled because of cigars and they didn't want tobacco talk? Or was it because of me? That's the multi-million-dollar question. Wow, Sarah. That's nuts. That is, yeah. Check out some of the stories. We'll post them on the Facebook page today. Caught with not their hands in the cookie jar, but a face full of cookies. Of course, these people have been shadow banning. Of course, these people have been throttling conservatives. Of course, these people. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, wait. I maybe got Sarah wrong. I've jumped 2,500 followers. Eat, Drink, Smoke has also jumped. Okay. All right. Well, that's not enough. Go follow me on Twitter as well. Guys, appreciate you and appreciate Americans for Prosperity. Fantastic people. Absolutely love working with Americans for Prosperity, and you should check them out where you are, americansforprosperity.org. I'll catch you tomorrow, guys. Take care.